All right, first up, the latest from Iran. Now, Tehran has acknowledged that it has broken the limit set on its stockpile of low-enriched uranium. It's the first major departure a year after the U.S. unilaterally withdrew from the nuclear accord. The International Atomic Energy Agency has confirmed that Iran's stockpile of low-enriched uranium has exceeded the maximum limit set under the 2015 nuclear deal. Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif was the first to reveal rather boastfully that Iran has breached the limit of its stockpile of low-grade uranium. Now, let me break it down for you. The Wion World is One viewer. Now, first, what is the violation all about? It's a breach of terms of the 2015 nuclear deal where Iran had agreed to have less than 300 kilograms of uranium. Their next step will be to enrich uranium beyond the 3.67% allowed under the deal. Now, next up, why has it happened? Well, Iran has sought to justify these steps as a response to the U.S. government abandoning the nuclear accord and reimposing sanctions that have weakened Iran's economy. Now, is the violation significant? Well, the claims vary, but the current breach is just a fraction of the uranium stockpile Iran had once amassed. It would need roughly triple the amount to manufacture one nuclear bomb. All right, what can the United States do? Well, because it is no longer a party to the nuclear agreement, the U.S. does not have the legal grounds to move the UN Security Council for sanctions. In Trump's own words, it will continue to maintain maximum pressure. So what about the others then? Well, there are differing opinions among European nations, but for most part, they are still scrambling to preserve the agreement, fearful that if it falls, the U.S. and Iran could head towards a military conflict. And finally, what can the United Nations Security Council do? Well, under its resolution adopted in 2015 that endorsed the nuclear deal, the UN ended its sanctions against Iran. The resolution, called a snapback provision, could reinstate those sanctions if nations complained that Iran was cheating. All right, joining me live from Amman is my colleague Daniele Pagani. Daniele, good evening to you. Walk us through the developments in the Iran file, so to speak, and its implications for the region and beyond.
Good evening to you, Ramesh, and good evening to all our viewers. So what we are witnessing right now does not come as an unknown news. We were expecting this. Remember that Iran waited 60 weeks before taking this very powerful step. As you pointed out, this is a powerful step because this is the first time that openly Iran violates one of the clauses of the nuclear deal. Now there is a debate because Iran says that if the others also do not satisfy the nuclear deal, they are perfectly entitled by one of the articles of the deal to also walk away from some of the commitments. But this is a legal battle which will need to be fought. What can it trigger? It can trigger the reinstitutions of the old United Nations sanctions. And to add to what you said, no member of the United Nations Security Council could veto if any of the signatories of the treaty would move to the United Nations Security Council to request the reinstatement of the sanctions. So this clearly puts especially the European signatories, but also China and Russia, into a very difficult spot. On the one hand, they can avoid to take any action, but this would mean that they will accept that Iran is breaking the nuclear deal, enriching uranium and stockpiling enriched uranium. On the other hand, they can reimpose the sanctions, but this is the total and final end of the deal and therefore on a dialogue on a nuclear Iran. So it's a very difficult spot for the remaining signatories of the deal. This was a move that Iran planned very carefully to put them in this spot, and now we need to see what they will do.
All right, on that note, Daniele Pagani joining us live from Amman. Thank you for that update. Appreciate it.